Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's first Thursday stream.
Cool.
Lovely. I was just listening to myself to make sure that my sound was going through properly. So yeah, welcome to the first Thursday stream. Normally I have Dungeons and Dragons on a Thursday because I'm a real nerd, but that was cancelled today, as all good groups are at least 3 times a month. So I'm going to stream instead because we couldn't stream yesterday. And I feel particularly bad about that because yesterday I was due to be joined by a lovely, wonderful, beautiful, beardy man of a guest.
I'm afraid I am a happily taken man, Matt. You have reached no chance.
I know, and I also at least slightly know your very lucky partner. But I have managed to convince said lovely man, hey DBJ, how we doing, buddy? I have convinced said lovely beardy man to come on today instead. It's Gur. Hey Gur.
Hello.
How are we?
I'm fine. I'm glad work's over.
Sorry about yesterday, by the way.
We're both painting opposite scales of the green skin, I think.
We are. What are you up to tonight?
I'm doing the base coat on the next 10 savage orc boys for my new 40k army.
Nice. Ahoy, hoy, lee. How are we doing?
Very mediocre, isn't he?
He is very mediocre. He's not mediocre.
I'm expecting my phone to just come with abuse now.
Yeah. I mean, the mediocre model likes to abuse the chat as is, so maybe I should get an admin in here just in case.
I don't think I've been on the same show to see as Lee at the same time, although I have heard he quite likes to bait you.
He likes to troll me, and that's fine because I'll have him on sometime soon to talk squamping, and I'll get my revenge in some way. We bought Challen a hat, so maybe we'll buy him, like, I don't know, what could we buy Lee that he would hate?
Sticker that says 3 hours sober.
Just some nice Christmas decorations.
Yes. Oh, Glitterbeard.
Glitterbeard.
Which I have been requested to do by multiple family members, work colleagues, and lifelong friends.
I mean, look, given the impressive facial hair you're touting there, you definitely have the most impressive facial hair of any guest I've had on so far. And probably to come, really. It is, unless Brian Blessed himself shows up, and I've yet to hear a response from him.
You would definitely have to be a mature channel for Brian Blessed to come on. Love the man, but
what kind of
I only knew him as a little kid. And when I grew up, then I realised how bloody foul-mouthed he was.
Yes, I love his videos. It was very great. DBJ, what issues are you having with the video? Let me know, and I will see if I can resolve them. If there's not much going on here, it's because I'm being too occupied by Gur's beard, but I will keep painting some grots. I'm going to pretend that was a low-key dunk on me, telling me to shut up talking and paint some grots, which is fair. Are
you keeping a tally of how many grots you've painted?
No.
Based on this show.
I think I've done about 300 in the past week. Those are some I did. It would be. I mean, I know that I've got this whole load here to do. Between those two boxes, there's about 720 grots.
Wow.
So
I've got 10 orcs. And I thought that was shit tonight.
So I know that by the time I'm done with the big clear box, I'll have done the silver on 720 and based them. But I don't know from scratch. But I do now have about 700 more grots waiting base coats and stuff like that. I was going to try and fix my lights. It's a bit weird. I've got my camera at a weird angle today, so I'm getting weird shadow right over where the painting is. What's everyone else working on? What are we working on? I know DBJ, you're working on a brunt herd, I believe.
Brian Blessed got a Tau start collecting.
What?
I both feel betrayed and mixed emotions
Where?
on that one.
I need to know where your data source on this is.
Someone called Iron Llama 42.
Oh.
Well, I've never had a llama lie to me before.
Weirdly, I've missed a bunch of messages. Hi, Iron Llama 42. Do you know the worst thing? I know for a fact that I know who Iron Llama 42 is. and I ask them every single time who they are, and every single time I forget. So I'm really sorry, Iron Llama 42. I know that I know who you are, but I can't remember knowing who you are. But I know that Iron Llama 42 is a long-time friend of the show. I could... No, I'm sure I asked. Yes, hello, Dave. I'm sure I've asked. It might have been when we were streaming Grot Challenges. Sorry, Dave. Hello, you wonderful man.
To be honest, Brian Blessed strikes me as the sort of person, if you walked up and went, "Hey, are you collecting towel?" he would just tell you to fuck off.
Yeah. I mean... yeah, fair. I think... if you're Brian Blessed... literally everyone's just going to be thrilled that you're collecting for. Like, for example, no one cared that Henry Cavill played Custodes. They just cared that he played 40k. Like,
I think no one was shocked when he said he played Custodes.
I mean,
That's my one F-bomb according to Lee. Fudge. Ah, damn it.
I don't. I still don't actually quite know. I mean, I'm not monetized. So what they're going to take away? Yeah.
That is true. Let me know when you are monetized, because apparently I get 1 free sub a month with Amazon Prime, and I may as well give it to the bucket.
Oh, you hero! It will be soon.
I seem to have disappeared on your screen.
Oh, you have, and that's because what I was saying earlier on, where if I move Discord channels, because DBJ put a picture of his run herd in my wonderful bucket Discord, which everyone's welcome to join. If you're not in the bucket Discord and want to be, let me know. I will be using it to run some silly little grot RPGs, as well as kind of you guys to keep me updated on what you're painting while we all paint together. And I think at some point I might just do like a Discord mass rather than having a guest on. I'll just open up the Discord chat channel. We'll just have everyone on at once. That can't go wrong, right?
That's nice. Vanguard takes on the bucket.
Oh, this will be this. Well, we could do a Vanguard one, but I was thinking more. I have a bucket Discord as well. You're in the bucket Discord, aren't you, Gur?
I am indeed.
Good.
I always get strangely hungry. I can always tell when you have set up a Discord, because the second I join, it says, "Oh, hope you brought pizza." I sit there, pizzaless and disappointed.
Oh, I could eat some pizza right now. Well, actually,
don't get me started. Didn't me and you conquered was it 18 or 21 pizza each?
It was.
It was something
I think
special.
it was 18, but it might have been 20. And there's a wonderful place in Bristol. Lee, you'll know, Beer Emporium. How big are their pizzas?
Yeah. Colossal. And we sat there and everyone around us looked at us like, what? They were like expecting us to have guests come over to help us finish this pizza, and we were there like, no, it's us.
Yeah.
And they watched us.
They are huge. We sat there drinking fine Belgian beer, and
it's like 9%, wasn't it?
Yeah, Delirium Tremens, fine beer, and eating a whole 18 or 20-inch pizza each. It was, let's be honest, obscene, but also wonderful. This was just
first time in ages we'd come out, because it was during the sort of early mid.
The COVID armistice.
More lockdowns and Star Wars movies at this point, I swear.
Better as well.
Revenge of the Qs.
Nice.
But yeah, I got home and Lisa sort of saw. Was like, "Guy, you look a bit bloated." I'm like, "Don't stop."
I've achieved some things tonight, and I'm proud of it, and I'm not proud of it.
Hello, cat. I don't know if you can hear that.
I can see it. Hello, cat. We haven't. Do you know what? Discord has the channel hasn't been crashed by any pets yet, which has made me very sad.
Oh well, you've now just been crashed by my Cyclops cat.
Hello, Cyclops cat.
Although he's not going to be on the camera because he's gone off to his heated radiator bed, which I get very jealous of.
Oh, I want a heated radiator bed. I feel like I need a dog or something just to have like a bucket mascot.
Oh, Lisa, update when you asked Lisa if she could cross-stitch you a grot.
Yes.
She said she is happy to, but she will need to see a picture, because when I asked her, Lisa, can you cross-stitch a grot? Her first words were, what's a grot?
That happened when I called Lucy a squig once, which I thought was a compliment, but wasn't taken as such.
Abort mission.
Yeah. Hey.
I think I called Lisa a squig. She got annoyed because she thought I called her a Swede. It's like,
Just for some context, Ger's lovely partner is Finnish.
Finnish and Estonian.
Basically, super exotic.
Yeah, Nordic and Scandic all in one, or Baltic and Nordic. It gets complicated.
Just as long as we don't use the word Scandinavian. Finns don't like being called Scandinavians.
Depends what type of squig.
That's a fair point.
That is something I think we should really educate newer players on. Are just the absolute back shit insanity that is the old squig fluff.
Oh, bat squigs, for example.
Yeah, hair squigs. Because orcs don't grow hair, so every top knot you see is a squig attached to his head.
I feel like they've retconned that, and it makes me sad because that's the most incredible lore.
One of my favourite was mustache squigs being canon.
That was incredible. I want this in my life.
Orc fluff still is the craziness, but they've dialed down the crazy, and that kind of makes you wonder.
It's my only.
Damn it, Dave! I will never let this go.
It's just jealousy.
Yeah.
My understanding, and there's a question I'll let you field in the chat, but my understanding of Finns and Swedes is everyone's a rival with the Swedes. We had Emma on the other day, who is Danish, and I accidentally called her Swedish. And apparently the only thing worse than calling a Swede Danish is calling a Danish a Swede.
So, in all sports, yeah, Finland, and think of the sort of level of insults between England and France, then intensify it by about 3, and that is pretty much on par the level of Finland and Sweden, which is funny because there's a very big Swedish population in Finland.
So we're saying, imagine like Jazgul and Yarrick.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not a healthy relationship, but the therapist says eventually they'll come to terms with each other.
Talking of squigs, just a little plug for tomorrow. Not that I want to wish away today's wonderful guest, but tomorrow I've got Probably Squigs. Do you follow Probably Squigs on Instagram? Actually, you don't have an Instagram, do you? Actually, we need to talk about it tonight.
Yeah, because I want some suggestions for an Instagram name.
Yes.
A load of the obvious ones are either taken or just too obvious, and I don't want to. Strangely enough, I don't want beard in the title for my Instagram.
I mean, fair enough.
Instagram. Okay, crap. Lee's got a good
Instagram,
one.
done. Yeah, finished.
Yeah,
Completed.
okay.
Yeah, done.
Anyone tops that.
Although my only problem with Instagram is it doesn't say what it is. Like, mediocre modeler.
Like some sort of like pot noodle.
Exactly. Mediocre modeler. Lee does some mediocre models.
Oxford
Phil.
and Swindon. I'm not sure it's quite as bad as Oxford and Swindon, Phil.
Or like Chelsea and Millwall. Or.
They stay within the lines of the law. I think.
Wasn't there that whole thing about there was a push for oh no, someone was going to give someone a mountain and it never happened, which made me very sad to learn, which I think is a dream that you ruined for me.
Who, me?
Yeah, because I'd just seen the meme that's like, this country, like Finland tried to give someone. Lee, are you being mean about eyes?
He is, yeah.
Ugh.
So I'm legally blind in my right eye. It's also very lazy. So Lee loves thinking of creative jokes about it, and I would be mad if he wasn't so damn good at it. I appreciate, my philosophy is you are first in line to laugh at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I always appreciate a new one because I've heard most of them over the years now, so it takes a special one to get me chuckling.
That's fair. So DBJ used his old MySpace name, which was bringing back some memories. Oh, MySpace. Like,
what did you have first, MySpace or Bebo?
Oh, Bebo.
I think Bebo is the Mac Daddy social media, and it's still going apparently.
I mean, yeah. I think the other thing, just talking eyes, and I hate to bring this up, but your favourite model, as far as I'm aware, is the carnifex.
It's my favourite Tyrannid model, yeah.
Yeah.
The carnifex.
Which I feel is kind of, given the carnifex character, is kind of leaning into the joke a little bit here.
Yeah, the weird thing is I always liked carnifexes even back in.
I
started 40k in 4th, 5th.
Yeah.
And it never dawned on me then. Never dawned on me at all till I was about 17. Talked to my mate, and his dad, who was a big 40k fan as well, was giggling to himself, and of course he didn't want to say. And of course, once we managed to convince him to say it, I have never regretted anything more in my life.
Yeah. apparently there's a girl called the Real Iron Hand who is someone who lost a limb and has really lent into it and paints really well.
I am not arm wrestling her. She would kick my ass.
How are we doing, everybody? How are we doing, Spike? What are you up to? You painting along with me? I've genuinely found that having people painting along, like, I have managed to motivate myself to paint so much more this week. I know Lee, aka Mediocre Mod, is working on Death Watch Commission, which I need him to finish so he can start squamping for me.
Whoa! You are a happily married man. I don't think you should be squamping with anyone.
I'm also wondering whether I'm going to. When it comes to looting a warhound, I don't know if I kind of want to take it on myself, but I kind of want to throw it at Lee. Oh, that sucks, Spike. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon. Did you
want to eat an 18-inch pizza?
Do you know what? The worst about that pizza is I don't regret it, and I know that next time we're out, we'll do it again.
Yeah, we will.
I know Phil managed to get chili in his eye today, so it seems like everyone's injured or sick today. Must be that Thursday kind of feeling. My D&D group was cancelled. How's the world's worst luck generally? It was a thin one.
Are we getting onto that now? Are we starting?
We will talk luck in a minute because I do feel like we do need to. I think we've shared the Necron story, but I do want to hear it from your angle.
Yes. Because it's not just you. It's been every game in Vanguard ever, that luck. I've got a couple of great stories about opponents who... Sorry, when we get onto that, I'll explain, but I've got some good ones.
Well, before we get onto it, very quickly, Dave, they were thin crust pizzas. They're from the Beer Emporium, which is very good. If you've never been to the Beer Emporium, go to the Beer Emporium. I'll go to the Beer Emporium with you.
I prefer thick crust to thin crust, but I still love pizza of all types.
I mean, when it's massive... Yeah, why did you put chili in your eye, Phil, by the way? So Phil put some... I think he said bird's eye chili, but I don't know if he was joking because, I or...
Does he mean like Bird's Eye Chili, the brand Bird's Eye now make chili that I wasn't aware of?
No,
so
you know...
Fish finger chili or something?
No, Bird's Eye chili, they're really hot chilies, and I know this because Lucy and I eat this really, really nice food called buldak, which is like, it's a Korean fire chicken. Yes, Dave, I will go with you, and we will go and eat pizza and drink beer. I'll just do it with everyone, it's fine. I am a pizza whore. There's a video title for you. But no, it's like a really spiced up.
Sounds like your first album name.
And the first time we had this...
Thick face.
Did you say thick face beats?
Yeah.
I like it. I kind of want your Instagram. Hey Rob, how are we doing? I kind of want your Instagram now, girl, to be thick face beats.
Brush face or something. Thick face brush.
I love Korean food, DBJ, and I'm unashamed of the fact. If you've never had buldak, you have not lived, my friend.
My other half made some absolutely amazing bao buns.
Ooh, I love bao buns.
Oh, Phil, I've done that before, mate. It is not good. Shut up, Lee.
I can make go a little bit louder, I reckon. Let me
if you need to, I can do it my end as well. But
that should make it louder.
Okay, now I have to speak quieter just to, ruin everything.
I've never had bibimbap. Dave, what's bibimbap? Is it as nice as buldak? Because
like a Dragon Ball Z character name.
Like I went on, my wife and I went to.
Oh, sorry, Rob.
Hold on. Did it get louder after, or is it still as quiet as it was? There you go. I've turned it up a bit. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've turned it up a bit my end as well.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
That does sound nice.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I went to Japan on my honeymoon, and oh my god, it's ruined my life. Because, like, all the food, like, I just can't not eat Asian food. Oh, you have frozen... There we go. Because I minimised you.
There was a very, very close friend of mine. She is...
Alright, show off.
Half Japanese, and I think her dad is from the UK somewhere. So she's basically grown up a Japanese native. She goes there every year. And she introduced me to a lot of Japanese food. Because I was learning Japanese at the time, so unlike my friends who were learning, I don't watch anime. I don't really care for it. I'm learning Japanese because I had free time.
Yeah.
The course was discounted, and it was just something to do. Why not learn a new language?
Hmm.
And she was telling me if I ever went to Japan, I would struggle to fit on buses.
Hmm. It's a
I
very
would,
small country.
yeah, they genuinely said if you go, Gary, and you're going longer than 2 weeks, 3 weeks, take extra shoes and socks with you, Gary, because I'm size 13 UK,
Oof.
and they said they wouldn't even have like novelty shoes my size.
It was like the best country I've been to. I'm very lucky to have travelled to quite a lot of places, and it was just incredible. The whole thing. Like hopefully we're off to Korea this year for mine and my wife's 30th birthdays, but we were also tempted to just kind of jump on a plane and do kind of a week in Tokyo while we're out there. Rob, it's better now, by the way.
I mean, I'm great, but thank you.
Yes,
World
you are.
renowned for modesty.
Let's talk 40k because we haven't talked 40k yet. All we've talked about is food. 40k. Heard of it?
Good.
Played it? Thoughts?
I dabble.
Dabble? Yeah. Fair.
So yeah, I think I don't know if I have the worst luck in the club, but I must be up there for most consecutive ones rolled at this point. The games that spring to mind, what's that thinning thing? The games that spring to mind mostly is our game against your Necrons and my Carnifex list.
Which was insane fun.
It was very fun because you basically revived an entire army worth of Necron warriors during the game.
I believe twice.
You did, yeah, twice. 58 Necrons in total, I think. When you started with 40 was pretty something, and my Carnifex is just doing sod all.
I think the moment that sticks out most to me of that game was the point where your Carnifex managed to kill, like, you got two Carnifexes into a unit and they just ripped the unit apart, but left one standing.
They killed like 13 of them.
Yeah.
Absolute godly rolls.
Yeah.
Just stood back. I think it was Old One Eye as well. That absolutely rampaged through.
Yes. And then, yeah, suddenly.
That rampage, I rolled really poorly. Because Old One Eye was actually a bit busted in index.
That was also the game where we had the legendary Cryptek versus Zoanthrope showdown.
Yes, that Zoanthrope, I'm not sure if I should bother repainting him because he perils turn 1. Double ones perils. Took him down to 2 wounds. I charged you. You did a wound in Overwatch.
Oh yeah, with the Staff of Light.
Yeah, Staff of Light, wound of Overwatch. Why turn quiet?
That's weird because I've turned him right up.
Yeah, I've turned it up my end as well.
So I can hear you really well. Huh. I mean, everything is kind of as loud as I can make it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it could be.
Right, let me turn everything up to max.
Oh no.
Try again. Hello, we are back. I'm wondering whether my internet being a pain in the ass was what might have caused Ger to be quiet.
But yeah, hopefully that's a bit better now. I thought.
Oh no, no, you're really quiet. But it's weird because I can hear you fine. How bizarre!
Really weird.
It is really weird.
Feed the router more grots.
Yeah, it's my. Do you know what? If I've learned one thing, never use Vodafone.
If you're going to shit talk a company, do it before you're like affiliated on Twitch. That way, there's no legal pursuit.
Oh, they can legally pursue me as much as they want. I can point to all the times that everything's gone down. Right. Why are you so quiet, Ger?
I'm really not.
No, I know. You're not for me either, but you are.
Oh, right. Yeah, not.
Oh, although I also have low latency warnings.
I think it might be that then.
But I can hear you fine. Okay, bear with us. I'm going to investigate. I'll be right back. Keep painting. No one stop painting. They are absolutely atrocious. Okay. Hello, everyone. So we are. You're currently seeing a picture of drones models, and I apologise about that, Ger.
It's fine, I just have to paint more.
Yeah,
Have me on again.
I'm just gonna wait for the stream to kick forward and see if I can hear you properly. Hello, everyone. Sorry about this. It's one day I will have a far nicer house where I can have better stuff.
Yes. Dream, isn't it?
Oh no, you're still really quiet. Okay. I'm really loud though, so that's good.
Let me try one more. Okay, what about now? Is that better? Is that better for everyone?
Nope. Garen's already basically yelling.
The drying glass is my way here.
No, it must just be you because I had Ian and Rob on the other day and they were fine. Talk a bit for me, girl.
Hello there. Is that any better?
So my Discord levels are quite quiet, but I've got my Discord whacked up to max. See, this is what we're a multifunctional hobby stream. Not only are we here okay.
I will find a way to blame. Oh, I do have Skype actually.
Okay, right. Give us 2 ticks, everyone. We are going to try. Oh, it's better.
That's better now.
Try. Oh, better.
I'm very jealous watching Jerome's pictures shoot past with the shades of purple.
So I'm still hearing it's quite quiet. Okay, give me a 15-second. So the echo is coming from my end. Right, go. Give me 10 seconds of talk. Go.
So, worst thing I've had luck-wise in the Vanguard, I think, was pretty much playing goblins. 32 dice to attack, 4's to hit, reroll 1s, 3 hits. My opponent decided to concede because he just didn't think it'd be a fair game after that.
Okay, that sounded. Actually, I could hear you probably then. We're getting a wee bit of echo still, so let me whack the levels down a wee bit there. Don't need that. Okay, right. How are we sounding now, everyone? Oh, can you hear me, go?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, that's fine. Oh.
I don't know why I was quiet, as if I expected someone else to just listen for me. Just out of nowhere, just Lee's on the call, like, "Hey guys," like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, also, God bless the internet, eh?
Yeah. Cause and problem of all of life.
How is going now? Can someone let me know if he's any better?
Do I sound any clearer? We've not really changed anything. Could just be Twitch being Twitch.
Could just be Twitch being Twitch.
I think we've scared them off, Matt.
I think so. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, to be fair, because we're having a wide battery of issues.
Of course, it happens with me. Yeah.
Of course, it happens with you. Right. Okay. When I talk, only I'm getting Discord and mic orc, so maybe if I drop that. Okay. Hopefully that might fix.
So, when you have games that go absolutely out of, you have bad luck, but you have games your luck's so bad you're not enjoying it. How do you deal with it?
I mean, I think I protect myself from these things by playing atrocious lists. Like, kind of genuinely, I feel like I've kind of insulated myself from these things. Also, do you want to go back on camera if you want?
Yeah, you can do.
And I'll stop showing off Jerome's models on your stream because that feels unfair. But yeah, I think for me, I think I'm helped by the fact that for me 40k is so much more of a social experience than anything else. If I'm at a tournament, I'm playing someone, well, my luck's crap, then as a statistician, it's kind of, it's kind of okay. I'm like, oh, okay, fair. I mean, it's either I win or it's statistically interesting, right?
Oh, I love the fact I mess with your belief in irrefutable laws of maths.
Which you genuinely do, and it actually upsets me a little bit.
I don't try. I've just had to make do with the knowledge that anything I do in 40k inherently, if I want to go more competitive with it, I think that would ruin a lot of the fun for me.
That's fair. I mean, it's competitive. Certainly isn't for everyone.
I'd definitely love going to tournaments, but I always go there with the intent of, okay, I'm going to end up in the middle, where hopefully the people playing down here they know the top table is out of reach, so they're just going to have fun, and I think that's a nice place to be.
Yeah, I think
you play people you never would normally, and hopefully some janky lists.
I think comp is one of those things that I feel like it's something we discuss quite a lot in our various mutual groups. I think it's something that lots of people have very different ideas of what comp play should be, and kind of what tournament play should be like. And realistically, I think for me, it's the kind of time where, you know, it's okay to take a really broken list. Like, that's okay. I won't begrudge someone taking a broken list because it's a tournament, they want to win fair. What I won't abide at things like tournaments is people being dicks. Like,
I particularly hate people and anything against the rules. If it's a genuine mistake, I try to give the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I think there's definitely scope for that for me, but I think it also kind of depends on the situation of the game. It's quite situational, really, because like
at the end of the day, 40k is fun.
Yeah, exactly. But it's okay to want to be competitive. It's okay to want to have a bit of fun. Phil says, "Symphony Station follows philosophy of juggernaut bolt action. Get petty." When you said get petty, I was going to wonder where you're going. But you know what? That's incredible.
Was strangely wholesome, Phil, but just not for the other player.
Yeah.
I've had those games where I've had the absolute crap kicked out of me in the game. Nothing I could have done. Everything conspired against me. And my mindset is like, again. But at that point, I think that's why I just love the whole narrative side. Like you said, like you say, pick his favourite mini and go for it, or do something else. Like, hey, you know my leader? I challenge you to a duel. Now those rules aren't in 40k for like 8 years. Don't care. Duel.
What are you going to be playing for your first list, Mike? Like how have you? That's point. How TBJ Spike people? So I'm guessing you picked up hobby during lockdown and kind of, you know, the weird COVID times. How have you found that? You know, how? Because obviously for me, getting into 40k was something where I kind of saw some models in a shop. I don't know about Ger. What was your kind of experience of starting 40k up? How did you get into it?
Pretty much the same, actually. I walked past Games Workshop with my dad when I was 7, 8, and I was enthralled by it, absolutely enthralled. And you know, as every young autistic boy was. And I stuck from there, and I kept it up because I loved the lore, loved the models, and I was actually learning social skills from it. So my parents loved it. It was something I picked out. They didn't have to, you know.
Yeah.
Like an after-school club I had to go to. So that was very good. My dad was very, you know, he tolerated it. He didn't understand it, but you know, tried to keep up.
He did his best.
Did his best, bless him. He knows what a rhino is, which is hilarious.
Good on him.
The one model he remembers. No, I think that clinking background that got there first.
Yeah, I've that's weird. It should be louder than my voice because I'm very loud. Allow me to. I think what I've done here is I've turned up my Discord so much to try and make Ger loud.
I don't know what's gone wrong with my voice. It was fine at the start and it just went quiet, and now it won't change.
It is odd. It's the sound of industry.
Industry. That doesn't mean we're going to get those trees attacking, are we?
It absolutely does.
I think people who have started hobby during lockdown and have seen, you know, especially we've had quite a few in the Vanguard recently, and I am looking forwards to, you know, do demo games with them, you know, practice, help them get into it, because the Vanguard community is fantastic, very much more narrative driven than meta chasing.
Vanguard is
Although
on
if you
little bit,
do,
by the way.
yes, Bristol Vanguard.
Yeah, good. Do you want to flash your camera back on? If you want, you don't have to. But
That's
Lee wants to see
fine.
your beautiful face.
Put
Spike,
the camera back up.
are you mokeable, by the way, Spike? Because I know that...
Okay, camera's back on, Matt.
Lovely. Let me flick us over. There we go. We should have... There we go, we've got Godio. Okay, I thought so. As soon as you said blood, he's like, of course.
I think the best thing is if you feel like the community online is, accepting and welcoming. When you're actually in person at a club night, it's brilliant fun. So much atmosphere. You don't even have to go down to play a game. Just pop in to say hello to everyone. I think the best thing is if you feel like the community online is, accepting and welcoming. When you're actually in person at a club night, it's brilliant fun. So much atmosphere. You don't even have to go down to play a game. Just pop. Because I've stolen Matt's audio now, Lee. There can only be one.
So I'm just playing around with audio settings to try and make sure that I don't pick up too much background noise. But I think so. I think that should hopefully... Yeah, and I think it's... I don't think the 40k community online has always necessarily been great.
There's been a lot. There used to be the oldest thing in the world. Someone's new to the 40k community. Welcome. Don't go to Daka Daka.
Yeah, I think there's been previously become a lot of gatekeeping online, which is not as much a thing anymore, which is really good.
Yes, I despise gatekeeping in all shapes and forms, and I'm very proud of the Vanguard hobby online, especially the Discords and the Facebook groups, because there's great. But when it's in person, I'm planning to run probably the first couple of nights back. Games aimed at newer members who have joined during the lockdown craze. I'll bring down some balanced lists, some silly lists, and just games where take as long as you need for the first games.
Basically, people you can beat.
No, I'm not there to club seals. I am the club used to beat seals, but the seal wins.
No, that's not true. You're always a joy to play against.
Thank you.
I just happen to bring silly lists when we do play, because I think the 2 times we played at club, I played a very mean Australian Bone Reaper list for AOS.
Oh, hello TTB.
It's TTB.
Yes. So, in case anyone's wondering, I collect probably too many 40k armies, but one of my first and biggest collections, apart from Chaos Marines, are Tyranids, and I've always loved the Carnifex model. I think I just love it so much. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get 9 Carnifexes, because the rule of 3 had come out in match play. 9 Carnifexes and Old One Eye.
At least you get 3 a squad. How many points is that now?
Technically, oh god, I have to count up. They changed it since. Technically, so the Carnifex is its own data sheet, so you can have 9 just normal Carnifexes. And you've got Thornback Carnifexes, which are a different Carnifex. You can have 3 squads of 3 of those. You can have it for Screamer Killer, and then for the Stoneclaw, I think it's called, the Forge World Carnifex. Nice. So you can actually have more Carnifexes than your body has room for.
Now, do they not get caught by the same thing that Demon Princes do? Or are they different sheets? Different enough sheets, rather?
They're completely different sheets each with different options and different point costs.
Amazing. Then, so when will we see a full Carnifexes from you against the Grots? Because obviously when we've got lockdown.
Yes,
oh, nice.
Hopefully.
What's in your... Mocha, what's in your Blood Angel list, by the way? I know you've been collecting all of the... poor Spike has been trying to go around and finding... Because obviously they recently, in the past kind of year or so, stopped producing a lot of the specialist Blood Angel boxes. And Spike's just got into Blood Angels kind of in the last year or so. And so he's been very diligently just kind of trawling to hunt them all down.
For the Carnifexes, I will have to request my beloved pass me my phone. Should be just charging there, please, love.
Is Lisa going to come and say? I mean, is your partner going to come say hi on camera?
No.
No, okay.
She has a. She's drying her hair at the moment.
Fair enough. She's also very crafty, so I'm gonna go and get. I am gonna go and get. Send some things, and I'm gonna pay her to make some cross stitch for me. She doesn't really know about it yet. She might kind of know about it, but I want a nice cross stitch grot to go on my wall.
Yes. Of course, when I asked Lisa, hey, can you cross stitch a grot? Grot, first line. What's a grot?
Which I feel is sacrilege.
Right, I'm just waiting for my phone to load up a second, Will. Then I will check the carnifex, because I don't know the new points when everything changed from the last big posting online.
Are you going to just bring a horde of... Are you just going to bring a horde of carnifexes to take on the grot challenge when we can, by the way?
Oh yeah, definitely.
720 grots versus X carnifexes.
It's like 720 grots versus like 7 custodes.
I mean, do you know what? Custodes probably actually do it quite well, especially the jet bikes. They get so many shots each.
If you spammed bikes, they would destroy. But so I started collecting custodes towards the sort of.
I forget you have custodes.
The last quarter of 8th edition, expecting. I remember sharing a load of lists with Lee, with TTB, and you going, "Hey, look at this list." It was like 800 points for Fun Night, but 6 models in 800 points. No obsec, no command points.
Oh no!
Because 9th hadn't come out yet. You didn't get, it was what's the elite Vanguard detachment? I think it is.
Yep.
And it was awful. And then 9th came out, and suddenly Custodes became the destroyer of worlds. And I feel like I can't really play these in. I collected them expecting to have no command points. Now I have far more than I know what to do with.
I had that same issue with Necrons. I was like, I'm going to play Necrons because I don't want to be too... Oh, okay, I'll go Necrons. Oh, fine. I guess I'll resurrect my Dark Angels. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, okay, well, at least I've got my Dark Eldar, so we'll see what happens then. I will take a look at that in a bit, Mokuba, only because if I click on it now, I will lose Gur. Because if I click off of our ongoing Discord conversation, I won't be able to see it.
I'm on my phone working out the point cost of my carnifexes currently, very very loosely. Old One Eye went up. That's depressing.
I mean, fair. Old One Eye is very good.
They all went up. Holy crap!
Also, let's go on.
Current bugbear with the carnifex list is the fact eradicators exist just absolutely invalidates their existence. Currently, it is just over 1,000 points of carnifexes.
Is that it? Oh, get up on that. DBJ's jumping on the joke pile.
God damn it.
Savage. What was I going to check? I don't remember what I was going to check. Oh, let's have a quick look at Mokuba's list on my phone. Let's all see a look at our phones.
Yay! One of my favourite things to do once at, I think it was a Vanguard night, everyone was on their phone, and after about 5 minutes I was like, art of conversations living, I see.
Dante. Do you know what? Let me just say, Spike. Bringing Dante kudos, because I fucking love Dante. I think he's great. Such a cool character.
He's the embodiment of I'm too old for this shit.
Yes. Dante, Primaris Chaplain, 2 units of Assault Intercessors, love them. Incest Squad, lovely, good backup board unit. Blade Guard Vets, savage. Blade Guard Vets and Blood Angels going to be good. Redemptor Dread. Oh, he's gone Redemptor Dread with the Heavy Flamer, the Gatling Cannon, and the Fragstorm launchers. Just death by Daka. An Invader ATV, interesting. Eradicators, boo. Eradicators are very good. That's an excellent choice.
You're right for taking them, but I am also right to just point and say boo when I see them on the table.
To be fair, do you know what? It's actually a really nice list of like a really nice all-round but also solid list. Good job, man.
It looks like it's got the tools to deal with a horde on an objective and other
Yeah.
elites nearby.
Yes. Luckily, I don't reckon it could kill 720 grots. And that's all I care about. All of my brushes are kind of ruined today.
You need to work out some sort of algorithm to work out grots killed per minute. Or GKPM in the events.
I like I think one of my favourite measures will be the grots killed per point, which I think is interesting.
That's a good one.
I don't want to rush people, but yeah, the kind of idea of I like the idea that you say, cool, 720 points, bring as many points as you want to bring, but I'm going to be judging you based on the number of points you bring versus the number of points for the grots you kill. So if you bring 300 points and kill like 100 grots, that's better than bringing 15,000 points and killing all the grots.
I think online there's a guy who he posts his Tyranid collection quite often. He's collected Tyranids since the start, and he is currently at 409 Ripper Swarms.
Yes, I think that's
I don't know if you've heard of him. Yeah, he just has, and he says I don't have them all in one place. They're sort of scattered between everything, but he just has just insane because Ripper Swarms are one of the hardest models to get by themselves in the Tyranid line. I've got a few. You kind of collect them incidentally because you've got some on the warrior, you get some for
like the old Scarab ones.
Yeah,
the Astreus is also a very cool vehicle.
Isn't that the Forge World one?
It is. And I know for a fact that Spikes is definitely a legitimate Forge World one.
Ooh. What is your opinion on Forge World and casual games?
Fine. Go nuts.
Yeah, totally agree.
I think it was an issue when they first introduced it in the back end of 6th and 7th. Just because they weren't designed for that, but since the rules and the points updates, generally speaking, there's not a lot of Forge World stuff that outperforms core codex stuff, really.
I think most of the Forge World that outperforms core codex tends to be for the weaker codexes at this point.
Yeah, and also those ones that still have rules in them that weren't quite a thing. Cyclops, yeah, okay. Although Cyclops is a terrible unit, it's just that
He's making fun of me, that's why.
if you make it do what it's meant to do, Cyclops is great fun. And this is it. Cyclops is a terrible competitive choice, but an incredibly fun choice. And when I put my looted leading follow up with it with the demolition vehicle, not a Digger Gur. That is relatively savage.
You can put 20 Cyclopses in a Stormlord, by the way.
You can't take 20 Cyclopses, can you? Squad. I don't think squad size allows. But yeah.
Okay, if you were to play absolutely stupidly in narrative, I forget about that.
Actually, saying that,
there's no unit cap on Cyclopses specifically, I thought.
Yeah.
They're not squads anymore.
That's fine. You just have to play.
Used to be squads.
At 18,000 points, you can have rule of 18, so you're fine.
18,000. Because it's not actually a rule of 3. I remember having this discussion. It is
it's 1 plus 1 per 1,000 points.
Yes. So I do remember. This wasn't at Vanguard. This was somewhere else at 8th. I went with my mate, and it was a Tau player rocking 3 commanders at 900 points.
Yeah.
And he's like, rule of 3. I'm like, technically, you should have 1.
Also, only 1 commander per detachment as well.
This was before that change.
Which was a welcome change. Sort of Tau. I said it.
This is a veteran Cyclops. We've rebuilt it 9 times.
But I want to say, I think they've actually given the Cyclops an actual range now. So one of the conversations we had in our group chat, Sons of Ananta, Mediocre Modeler, and I are part of a group chat where we all chat about D&D and 40k and stuff. One of the conversations we had as to whether you can give the bonus range to a Cyclops. Now, you can't pre-change because it doesn't have a weapon range, therefore you don't add to it. However, A, it's cool. B, I think it also now has an actual range as opposed to being... So before, its range was special, and it was roll some dice and determine what happens. So it doesn't have a range you can modify.
Now it's a weapon profile.
Now it's weapon profile, which means you now definitely... there's definitely no I mean, I think it would have been a TO's kind of discretion. But then who's playing Crusade of a fancy tournament? So I feel like you get away with it now, and that's hilarious.
One of the best rule interactions I've had that is totally not intended from the way the new characteristics work in 8th and now 9th are bomb squigs in Tank Hunters, Tank Busters. It's amazing. Bomb squigs are weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 2.
Nice.
And they have a rule saying when this attack hits, its profile, essentially, it's only shooting attack, remove this model as a casualty.
Mm-hmm.
But that means some of the terrain you can have guns, which means you can have a ballistic skill 2 squig with the infantry keyword shooting las cannon arrays off of infantry lines. And it works. It all works. And this squig is friggin' ballistic skill 2. It's Custode's level of accuracy gunning down enemy planes with the anti-air gun.
That's fantastic.
And even better, when someone gets close, it just runs off and blows up on them with a strength 8, AP 3, damage 3 gun.
I think my favourite one, which was the other day when I had the Shiny Boys on, is Radwreath, the Necron trait.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Which is every unit within 1 inch. So it puts an aura around the character, around the model of every 1 inch is every model within 1 inch is. Stop streaming on my phone.
-1 toughness, isn't it?
It's -1 toughness for everything that's within an inch. And it's an aura ability, but obviously because it's only an inch, it means you only get it in close combat. Unless you're a character and take the right equipment, because there's characters that have equipment to extend their auras. Which means I think the most you can get up to is, so you whack it on a Catacomb Command Barge, and then you whack on it the my auras all bigger than they were, I think 6 inches bigger, which means you then suddenly have this massive Radwreath thing, although that's still not as good as the Death Guard one, which they just get it natively. But fine.
You've actually got good guns with it to back it up.
Yes, which is hilarious. You just park it in the middle and everything within 9 inches of this Catacomb Command Barge, which isn't small, -1 ship.
Quite a nice, to be honest, very nice model as well. Gives you a lot of extra bits, and even just a free overlord if you build the Annihilation Barge.
It is good. I like Catacomb Command Barge. Don't have one yet though, but I'm going to have one. I need to get one.
They do. I think they still do drive-by attacks.
Oh, that's cool.
I could be wrong there. So, I'm going to show my age compared to some of the viewers here with the editions, but one of the longest standing, and this was in one of my quizzes, shameless plug, one of my longest standing rule interpretations that was hilarious but correct as per the rules. Pyrovores for the Tyranids back in the 5th, 6th and 7th edition were hilariously misworded.
Okay.
So they had a rule that if they died due to instant death, which wasn't hard for them at toughness 4, how it was supposed to work is every enemy model within D6 inches takes a strength 3 hit.
See you later, DBJ. Have a good one.
See you, mate. How it was actually worded is when this model is slain, each other enemy unit takes D6, no, takes a strength 3 hit.
Okay.
There's no range on that. So people would get their Pyrovores killed. They would move them, bunch them up near the enemy, and hope they scatter their venom cannons, which is strength 9, enough to trigger instant death. To suddenly have 5 guardsmen the other end of the table fall over.
Like the Suicide Hobbit trick.
Yeah, and it was not FAQ'd.
Amazing.
And if you think arguments nowadays about weapon profiles not being individual enough, the Avatar, God bless that model, is probably nearly as old as I am, and I'm 27.
Old man.
I know, right? It had a rule, it is immune to melter and plasma. And that's it. No real list of clarifications. The FAQ made it kind of worse because it highlighted weapons people didn't think were melter or plasma or flamer based. And yeah, that was always interesting.
Does it still have that one?
No, it's just got a 5-up feel no pain.
Okay.
To represent that. So I've got a small Craftworld's army. I'm looking to probably shift it eventually because everything they can do, I can kind of do with my Tyranids in a way. Go psychic heavy, Zoanthropes. If I
Yep.
want jet bikers, I've got flying hive tyrants,
Fair point.
which kind of hard to beat that. And it's a lot of fun. Although I did buy a warlock, and I was kind of shocked it's the same warlock they've had since second edition.
Yeah, there's not been a great amount of updates.
No, although
Which
I
you will
have.
find if you read literally any comment stream on any Games Workshop post ever.
Yes. Normally, I think you gotta wait, but the X-Arch warriors, aspect warriors, as a bit of a
They could use an update.
yeah, they could. The Banshees are gorgeous. I'm hoping the remaining ones come out as dual kits. I would love to see a Fire Dragon / Dark Reaper dual kit.
That'd be interesting, but they're quite different.
Yeah.
Spike, yeah, that would have been a Doomsday Arc. Doomsday Arcs are very mean. They have a... Well, it used to be flat 6. Now it's D3 plus 3 damage. No, D6 damage on their big guns. D6 strength 10, AP lots shots at D6 damage each. They blow shit up easy.
A Tau Crisis Suit, Killer Titan in melee.
No way, that's incredible.
That's amazing. A couple of things that always made me laugh from 8, and I do maintain, as much as I say older editions had aspects I like, 8th is infinitely a more enjoyable game to play.
It's just quicker and easier.
Templates were a pain in the ass.
Yep.
Like, it was satisfying to, nail a 5-man tactical squad with a battle cannon or wipe out some gaunts with a flamer. But your opponent would have to spend 4 times the movement phase to ensure that didn't happen.
This is it, yeah. Like, it just slowed stuff down. And also, I think it's one of those things that as long as you're playing people who are fine, like, are good people to play with, it's not a problem. But as soon as you play someone who wants to be contrary, you end up arguing a toss over how many hits are on every single shot you make. Although my favourite one was the old Executioner, because the Executioner plasma cannon was just 3 small blast templates.
Yeah.
And then it had 2 plasma sponsons. So the whole thing was just...
didn't it?
Yeah. And so the whole thing... so it was forged up for ages and ages and ages, and then they made the regular one. And yeah, so the plasma was just be, okay, cool, I'm going to drop... if you hit all your shots, because it didn't scatter as far, you would hit a 5-man unit of Terminators and get, like, 35 hits. Great.
Oh, and back then, AP values were flat. If you were AP2, that meant armor values of 2 and above did not get a roll.
Yeah, which is basically pretty much the same as is now, but just they flipped and made it a bit more intuitive.
Well, now, 8 plasma guns at AP3, Marines now get a 6-up versus nothing.
Yeah.
I do prefer the cover from back there, though. I liked covers gave you a flat cover save, which I prefer more than +1 armor.
So basically a free and moral save.
It was conditional, though.
I can see both. I can see both sides of that argument, really. Because it is easier, kind of to just be like, yeah, cool. Hang on, we've got a 4-up save, fine. But it did mean that there was like, if you're playing Space Marines, there's no point standing behind a wall, and then you get into the infinite argument of if you're shot with a las cannon through a wall, does the wall stop it hitting you as hard? Who knows?
40k, there's always so many levels of abstract to it. You can't take it all. The biggest one is people say, why do we roll a wound before the armor's done anything? It's like, because it's a game.
Yeah, because it'd be silly otherwise.
There's that fantastic line whenever someone says 40k, it's not very realistic, and I say, yeah, you regularly bring knives and swords to a gunfight and win.
Yeah, less so these days. But yeah, this is it. You're playing a giant 400-foot death robot being eaten by little tiny scarab models, and you're going to complain about realism to me.
Yeah, like, oh, my Tyranids managed to poison your star god. Let's just not have real. Did anything in that sentence scream sci-fi to you?
Yeah. So obviously what's your like first love? Is it Nids? Because I was very surprised that you're such a recent convert to orcs.
Yes, I've always wanted an orc army, but I always felt I didn't have the I'm awful when it comes to painting, to talking myself down and out of projects,
I've seen your painting; it's very
especially
good.
our community. Our community, we have phenomenal painters.
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah, Tom, Lee, Jerome,
Challen.
Shannon.
Even
I
Tooth,
was
bless him.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say that. I'm like, oh shit, they're going to talk. Yeah, no, they're all fantastic painters, and I look at that and I
Just,
think, how
just
can I compete with that? I'm going to look awful. But then I've just kind of realised, no, I can kind of hold my own, and I don't need them to like it. I just need to like what I'm
yeah.
painting.
I think the biggest thing
So
for me, like that, was to judge myself against my standard of painting,
yeah,
not the people's.
I I'm not trying to judge it against my own standard anymore. I'm trying to judge it of how much I like looking at it when it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Do I like it? And if someone says, "Oh, you've missed a bit here and there," I'll be like, "Shut up," and walk off.
Yeah, fair.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I decided I wanted to not even rock the boat. It's not a particularly original idea, but I'm doing feral orc snakebite boys, but I'm not actually using snakebite rules because I'll be painting tattoos on them. And I love the death skull rules for a 6-up feel no pain. So for the idea that someone's nailed an orc with a las cannon, but he believes in his tattoos so much they somehow worked, leaving a very concerned Imperial Guardsman somewhere.
Yes. Orcs. Everyone should have an orc phase, because I think, in a very kind of a soapboxy kind of way, orcs teach you. Because I think probably, especially when you look at something like Space Marines, and there's so many wonderfully painted Space Marine armies out there, which edge highlighted beautifully. They're all non-metallic, they're gorgeous, and you can paint orcs beautifully. But you can also paint orcs messy and kind of no one cares, and they still look good. Whereas I think if you make a Space Marine messy, it's harder to kind of make it work.
The hardest thing in the world is to paint messy well, in my opinion, because painting messy nearly well comes off much sloppier than just hapdashing it. It's like a great analogy my dad likes to use. Quite often when you're getting better, it looks worse. You do worse because you're refining.
Yeah,
and he likes to use the darts technique. When you play darts randomly, if you chuck 3 darts at the board, you might get a 9, a 16, and a 12. But when you're getting better, you realise you want to go for the triple 20. But the issue is you've got 1 and 5 next to that 20. So he says that quite often as you get better, your scores are worse at darts until you reach the plateau. And I feel the same painting.
Fair point. There you go. You heard it here first, folks. Painting 40k is like a game of darts.
Not just an unpretty face.
You're a beautiful face, Geraint, and you know it.
But no, I'm especially looking forward to just getting the newer players in the swing of things in some games when we can.
Absolutely, I totally agree. It's just I've talked to pretty much everyone had on the bar, so it seems to be a common theme that keeps recurring, which makes sense. Which is that so much, I think I underestimated at the start of lockdown and kind of throughout my hobby career how much of the hobby is social. Even down to silly things like painting stuff. Like I've generally only ever painted stuff on bulk, either because I had an instant like, cool, I'm going to paint stuff this week and kind of just focused on it and got like 500 a week, or because I've got a tournament coming up. And I think that kind of idea that even painting for me was quite a social thing, and I think go on.
So I struggle with painting various visual and physical disabilities, but the thing is just speaking to people. I used to quite often meet up with my friend Adrian or some other people from the club, and we just paint and we talk. We've not really done it online because we both just have all been so busy.
This is why I've done this, because it's just that same thing.
I hope you'll have me on again sometime.
I will have you on again whenever you'd like.
Catalogue would be nice. I quite like the idea of how about this? Next time I'm on, we'll get someone else on as well, and we'll have a speed grot challenge where we each have a grot, and by the end of the stream, we have to show what we've done, and everyone can choose the.
That sounds like a great idea. That sounds like something I can do with the whole Discord bunch as well.
Bonus points if they don't use contrast. No, I contrast. I love contrast.
Contrast is my life. Also, that would stop Emma from painting it in the way that she likes to paint.
That's true. The silly thing is, this orc army, I've deliberately avoided contrast to test myself, and I regret everything. Everything sucks. Oh my god.
I mean, I think this is my thing, right? There's always a little bit of me. It's like, oh, you're cheating by using contrast, but I know how to highlight and how to shade vaguely, and it would take me ages to do every orc face, or I can slap a single coat of green on it, call it done. It's great.
Don't talk to me about orc fit. No, I'm joking.
Your orc flesh is about 400 layers at this point, isn't it?
So, I love contrast, and I've had this discussion with a few people saying, "Oh, contrast is cheating." It's like, no, it's not. Have you ever done an army that was ink and dry brush? Yeah. Then contrast is just that, but more accessible.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, a painted model with effort is worth more than an unpainted model. Elitism will kill hobbies.
Phil. Paint something right now, Phil. Right now. Go find a paintbrush, go find some paint and a model, and put some paint on it. No pudding until you do it.
You get bonus points if you put the right paint in the right places. I quite often struggle with that. I believe I talked to TTB about it, or Tom recently, and he is an eternal muse of painting inspiration. But it was just the case of when you base coat a model, you'll look at it and you go, "Wow, this is terrible. What have I done?" Then you'll do a wash, and it looks a bit better, and it's just nice to see that transformation in front of you of, a primed mini.
Damn straight, Spike.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. You just get this transformation of a mini you looked at and went, "This is awful," to suddenly you just feel proud looking at it.
So weirdly, I think it's like the Bob Ross effect. No, it doesn't count painting walls. Miniature, small walls, tiny walls. Tiny walls
not
count.
28mm, it doesn't count.
Yeah, although it could be a really big, like 28mm house. But I think it's the Bob Ross effect. Like I've dabbled a little bit in oil painting generally because I like Bob Ross, and I was like, I'm gonna buy some paints and do a Bob Ross. And it like, there's always this bit, and I don't know if you've never seen a Bob Ross video, you won't understand. But you should go and watch any Bob Ross video.
I love Bob Ross. I used to watch with my dad growing up.
Well, this is it, right? And it's just there's this moment every time you're like, he's like, cool, I'm gonna just like splash some brown on there, and he just like splashes some brown on there, and he's like, cool, and now I'm gonna get a little bit of paint on my thing. I'm just gonna scrape it on there, and you're like, well, come on, Bob, this is just a grey mess. And you kind of blink, and after he's done that next step, it's just suddenly mountains, and you're like, what?
Yeah,
like,
a little tree.
Yeah, it's that same effect. Like, there's just a moment in every Bob Ross paint where you're like, you've lost it. There's no way in hell this becomes anything, and then suddenly, like 3 seconds later, it's a beautiful landscape. I think you're right.
I think with painting, the hardest thing, it took me years to learn this, is just paint for yourself. Don't paint to get the army on the table ASAP.
Oh, that's
in my opinion. Well, in my opinion, just paint when you feel up to it.
Yeah, those are very
any progress is good. Don't feel one night. You always feel a little embarrassed your army's not fully painted when you're playing at a club night. I've had that for years. That's a very good line, Spike.
I find, and something again, I've talked to Tom about this. Tom, as you can see, Tom is kind of our mutual painting muse. I think the other thing as well that you don't consider is several things.
And Lee is very good at painting advice as well. That everyone is. Just go ask anyone and just pop a message in the Bristol Discord or Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, half these people don't know what that is, but that's fine.
That's true.
You can, Lee's in the Bucket Discord, talk to him, Mediator Modeler. But yeah, I think so. For me, the biggest thing that Tom taught me about painting is that it's very, very easy to look at a model you spent 2 hours on and think it's crap compared to someone else's model, because you look at yours and you go, cool, I spent all this effort on it, and you look at someone else, you don't see the effort that went into it, you don't see the years of kind of practice or understanding of stuff. You don't see the fact they spent 12 hours on it. All you see is a perfectly painted model, and then your model, and you assume that they mustn't have spent any time on it at all, and I spent all this time on it and mine's crap. And I think, this is why whenever people talk about painting, especially starting out, most of us can kind of imagine how we want to see, or what kind of effect we want on the model, but sometimes it's hard to replicate that.
Yes, very much there, Lee.
I think compare yourself to yourself.
So the only benchmark you should compare a model to is your last model.
Mhm.
Is the method I try to use.
Yeah.
I like looking at other people's models, and I've kind of trained myself to look at it, and instead of going, wow, I could never recreate that, I will try and look at what do I feel I can learn from that model,
Mhm.
and dry brush everything. For the love of God, it is the best thing in the world.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it gets taught enough.
If Leah's taught me one thing, it's that you can dry brush everything and people will think it's good.
Yeah. I think I can't remember who told me this, but it's a case of you don't need to paint it to look good, you just need to make people think it's good.
That sounds like a Tomism.
That does sound like a TTB dry brush all the things. Like I once dry brushed my own brush and everything got messy. It was awful. I will say, I never say my brush is ruined. It's now a dry brush. It's been promoted to dry brush because I dry brush so many things. It's a mark of honor at this point.
That's that. I like that. Yeah, Mediocre Modeler, same name on Facebook. Do go and check out his stuff. He also commissioned my lovely Deathwing army I have, which is basically just all dry brushing.
Go on then. Do we have any other Instagram potential names I can use for my Instagram?
Good point. I feel like as much as I like Instagram, it doesn't reflect that kind of like.
It doesn't sound
thing.
hobbyish.
Yeah.
It sounds like a very terrible OnlyFans, or Only Beards, as my mate calls it.
What was your old MySpace username? Out of curiosity.
Mine?
Yeah, as per DBJ's thing.
Mine was the edgiest teenage Latin phase where I went, I'll do my name in Latin. It's literally just Garant with the US at the end.
Nice.
But it's pronounced Garantius because Latin is weird.
There you go. It's done. Garantius.
Yeah, I've just been doxed.
They are beautiful, aren't they, Moki? And so Mediocre Modeler is the person who's responsible for them. I am very much not, except for I earned the money to pay him to do it. Which I think is half the work. Like, you know, I know for a fact that... actually, I was saying that, the prices were so reasonable I didn't even have to work that long to get it. Like, it's not like I had to work. Yes! Promote it to dry brush. That's what you should call it. Because that is a hobby positive model.
That is fantastic. I love it.
That is hobby positive, which you are. It demonstrates that dry brushing is a thing you like to do. And also, I like it. I'm gonna go. Okay. Right, I'm gonna go and register promote to drybrush.com.
You did no. Stop him.
Right, go.
Okay,
go
Pail, you are my first dry brush. Get in the pot. That's going to be clipped somewhere and shown to my workplace.
What, you're my first dry brush, get in the pot?
Yeah, you're my new brush, get in the pot. Or just get in the pot. Just.
Right, we need to see if that Instagram is available. I mean, it's got to be, right?
Yeah, surely. So would that be the username?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Also, make sure you go and follow. Go on Instagram once he's set it up.
Yeah.
Don't go and set it up now, because that's bullying. This brush has been promoted to dry brush.
Go on then. I'd love everyone to sort of regale with the story. What is the silliest way or accident you've had that has ruined a brush?
To be honest, I haven't painted enough to ruin brushes. I'm trying to think. I don't really know, to be honest. I think I just... Oh, that sounds really cool.
That does sound pretty cool.
Make sure to send some drop some pictures in the bucket Discord. What have I done? To be honest, I think it's just I buy cheap brushes and then use them to shit. I did use the same. My only good brush story is the fact that I painted 540 grots from start to finish, including the basing with one single brush.
I'm 90% sure that nearly made Jay attack you. So, in Bristol Games Workshop store, all the staff there are lovely, but Jay, the manager, absolutely good as gold. But after hearing a bunch of me and Matt's brush techniques, I'm fairly sure we were blacklisted from buying brushes from him.
Which is fine, because Games Workshop brushes aren't that good anyway.
I find they have an incredible point, but they blunt incredibly quickly.
Yes.
And that's all I will say in case he is watching.
No, that's fine. We can.
My
well, I don't really. But I'm not a big fan of dunking on Games Workshop because they produced a wonderful hobby, and while they might do missteps, they always seem to try their best. Like paying the. Sorry, go on. Tell me your dumbest story before we talk about.
So my the worst way I've ruined a brush, and not my proudest moment, but painting as always. I was doing some detailing. I was trying to sort of
Alright, show off
paint
detailing.
lenses. Trying to paint lenses on a Chaos Marine, which is now my oldest army. I've collected them since early 5th, if not 3rd. And I was getting a bit frustrated, so I threw the brush down. I threw it at the table. It threaded the needle and went into my can of beer.
Incredible.
And I sat there just watching it, and I didn't know what to do, so I just got up and just walked off for about 20 minutes. And I literally went to walk it off. Came back, and I just went to drink the beer, heard the rattling, got annoyed all over again. So I basically had to cut the can open to get it out, but the bristles were matted. They were stuck together when it dried out.
I will say, sorry.
That one didn't even get demoted to stippling. It was just unsalvageable. And the only thing I remember watching is that quite a big rugby and cricket fan is I wish I had that accuracy literally anywhere else. What a niche hobby to be world champion at, throwing paintbrushes into cans of beer.
That's wonderful. I love that. I also like promoted to beer brush. I like Phil's story of using it for household paint. Actually, John, that's probably mine. The number of times I have ruined my super glue nozzles, and so I'm like, oh cool, I'll just use a brush, and then not using a brush and forgetting every time that it just absolutely ruins the brush.
My dad has told me he used to do painting, and once he used one of the old paintbrushes to help him get the grout in the tiles in the kitchen because it was thin enough to get between everything.
I mean, fair. If it works, it works.
Yeah. If it works, it's not stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it can still be stupid.
Painting all promoted to beer brush.
I kind of like promoted to beer brush now. I think I might be one too many steps of an inside joke, because I think people will get promoted to
That'll be if I ever do something, a stream or something, that would be the ultimate secret tier.
If you can say that, it's like the raven flies at dawn. I once threw a brush into a can of beer. Was it promoted to beer brush? Come on in. It's like a speakeasy. Right, I'm going to finish these last few, and I think we're going to call it there for tonight. It's been about 5-10 minutes, so we've got some time. Has anyone got any questions before we go? I've got to ask you a lot of questions. Is there anything we haven't covered that I need to talk to you about? Don't think so. I don't know. I don't think there is. I think we've covered all of our best stories. We need to.
Not all of them. I need you. I want you to invite me back on.
Well, of course.
Oh, Spike, that is. That's why I don't wear jeans. Shorts life for me. Got that range of movement. Here's a fun bit of trivia. I am. Oh hell yeah! Okay, I'm making it straight away after. That's my Instagram.
Lee's probably just claimed it. He's going to try and sell it to you now. Classic capitalist move.
Jokes on you, Lee. I've got the mediocre modeler domain. Your move, Lee.
mediocremodeler.gov.uk.
It took longer than I care to mention.
What do you think of the new Orc Warband? You haven't asked.
The new Orc Warband. I absolutely love it. I am going to buy it. The shaman is becoming a weird knob. Weird knob? No, that's
weird boy.
Sigma. The shaman's becoming a weird boy.
That's projection. I think you'll find that's projection.
Is becoming a commando. So I'm going to paint, as per Matt's suggestion, I'm going to paint them up purple tattoos, but then water down sterling mud and make it look like they've covered themselves in mud to hide it. Put some flock on their shoulders. Yeah, like Predator.
Yes.
The boy with the 2 claws, I'm not too sure with him, but I'm going to probably make him into a knob leader. And the orc with the big bone, the 200 bones, becoming a tank hammer, so I'm actually going to just strap rockets to it.
Amazing. The claw guys could be mega knobs with their power claws.
I was thinking that, but I do have some non-Savage Orc boys because, in my opinion, they need to be getting these guns from somewhere. So I've got a few like Death Skull knobs who have like
Fair.
looted and cobbled together really rusty guns for these orcs.
That's a fair point.
So the Savage Orc stuff is quite rusty. The non-Savage Orc stuff is a bit nicer condition.
Fair.
But I just like, a bit fluffy things like that. It's a great way to motivate yourself in an army.
Yeah, especially with orcs where you have so much license to play around.
Yes, if you ever want to just have an army where you don't need to justify it with mental gymnastics, play orcs. Like literally anything is on the table. Even if you play Space Marines, but with orc models. That was it's happened in the fluff. One of the greatest ones ever is Death Watch by Mini Wargaming.
Amazing.
Favorite model ever.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Also, Phil, what do you think of the new Orc Warband Wargur's thinking? I'm presuming you have a positive response to it because who couldn't?
I've talked it up. Can't say no to it now.
You'll make him cry.
I want to say Carnifex, but it's not Carnifex, actually. That's not my favourite 40k model ever. I think the model I fell in love with the most is probably, and it's a bit weird, but I actually think it is the Custodes Guard box. The troops.
Interesting.
Because going through it, building and painting them was an absolute joy.
It's a very versatile box.
Yeah, and I know it's a bit of a cop-out, but it's those 5 models from that box.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
I think they are my favourite because it is the most imperial thing you'll ever paint. And it takes a lot for a model for you to... Like, hey, this model, you spray paint it one colour and it will look good.
Mm.
And that just speaks a lot to the design of it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Age of Sigmar, and I own far too many Sigmar armies. And Lizardmen, or Seraphon, as I know nowadays, gets everything, because my Seraphon army is called Jurassic Park.
Incredible.
And I just throw dinosaurs at people. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I might even dress up as the head researcher in white with the hat and the cane for a tournament.
Do it. What about you, Spike? Favourite model ever?
Yeah.
I reckon it's going to be something like Dante, because I know...
Dante and Sanguinary Guard are the closest way of slapping your opponent without doing anything. They are good.
And they're lovely models, like... Oh, Baal Predator. Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Do you know what? I think the Predator is a really underrated model, and I think you're right. I think the Baal is by far the best one. I think the las cannon and the autocannon's a bit too spindly.
Nope, can't agree. Nope, I play Iron Warriors. I've got Chaos Predators. Well, I'll have to play you, Spike. I'll bring my Predator. Take you on.
Predator off.
Pred off. I mean, that Pred off got a very different meaning a few years ago. I didn't say anything. So far tonight, very productive. I've base coated the skin of 10 orc boys.
I have done the 10 on my desk plus this many grots worth of silver. So I think about 100 or so, maybe 80. I've kind of lost count a little bit because Gareth's such wonderful company and you guys have been so engaging to chat with today.
I will before we close off in a few minutes, I will say, now that I have you here, Matt, and you can finally confess something we both agree on that may be unpopular. I don't know.
Is it that we're running away with each other?
The two the 2 contrast base coats, you've got Wraithbone and Greyseer.
Yep.
Both are fantastic sprays. They are the nicest light white or grey sprays I've ever worked with.
Mm-hmm.
The potted paints, however, are some of the worst paints ever made by Games Workshop.
The bucket of grot stands for a lot of positive things. It stands for family values, but not in like a racist kind of way, or like a sexist kind of way. It stands for inclusivity, exactly, in a proper way. It stands for, bring everyone to the hobby. It stands for good beer. It, however, does not stand for Greyseer paint, which is an abomination. No, I haven't found any more surprise armies like the Nivs I had. Apart from I do keep spotting the 3 Megatrack scrap jets that I still need to build.
I mean, if you don't want them anymore, Matt, I'm sure I can slap some boars on them and loot them to be feral.
Unfortunately, I very much do want
That's fine.
them.
So that is actually a model I haven't posted on the Vanguard Facebook yet because I want to do a bit more. But my truck for these Savage Boys, I
Yes.
got an Orc truck. Oh godly, damn it! I cut off the engine at the front and I instead replaced the flatbed truck at the back is being pulled by boars and orcs riding the boars, and I've put a load of like tribal totems and shields all over the edge of the truck.
Which looks amazing. I've seen early concepts of it. I look
Yes,
forward to
I've
seeing
tried
it.
to make it look as much as I can like between a chariot and an actual truck, and I spent 3.5 hours on it. And I sat there going, "This is amazing." Looked up a truck's point cost, 3.5 hours for 65 points. Oh yeah, this must be how Tom Taylor Big feels doing all those hours for an 8-point model. Oh,
Oh, I know.
efficient.
I keep forgetting I have. Lee and I worked on some scrapjet proxies at his using some of the plasma generators, including. Lee, do we still have the full-on Wang tank?
You're gonna have to give me context or never bring it up again.
We kind of put one together. So we basically we had drinking some beers, and just kind of looting and kit bashing together.
So
And
I
built
just
some
picked.
cool models, and one of them looks very, very, very much like some male genitals.
I just had this image of these guardsmen looking through binoculars at the orc lions, going, "Ah, balls." What do you mean? No, look, balls. The beauty of orcs, everything is on the table. Every army release is your release.
Yeah.
Even Sigma, especially Sigma.
I do, however, miss the days where you could take actual looted tanks in orc armies.
Yes, it would even have the rules. It would just
Yeah.
reduce their ballistic skill to 2, which probably doesn't make much sense. Ballistic skill and weapon skill used to have its own charts. So ballistic skill 2, you would hit on 5s.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, is an excellent simplification they made. Because why bother having a chart that says if your ballistic skill 5 then you hit on a 2+? That's literally no point going into that.
Oh,
because it
ballistic
wasn't
skill 6 is hit on 2+, but you re-roll and hit on a 6.
Which I'm a bigger fan of the new thing. I've added 5 more grots to the painting tally, so I think we're either at 105 or 85. I'm kind of tempted to knock out another 15 just in case.
I've done 10 orcs, and I think these 10 orcs would take on those grots in the fight.
Probably win, yeah.
I mean, not with my rolling, but they bloody wouldn't.
Who are you going to drop a mixtape for us, Moki? Sure, that's one thing I didn't get to talk to Jerome about the other day, which is good grot songs. I'd been thinking all day and couldn't come up with anything better than "Hit Me With Your Best Grot."
Oh, didn't I come up with some good ones in the chat?
You did. I can't remember what they were now.
Grot more time? Oh, your grot ready for this.
So, one I came up with. It's I've just had an auto mod message about your message.
Yeah, it didn't like. I used the word clan, and it probably didn't like the K in the clan. But
it didn't.
Rest assured, it is that is actually an army somebody made, and it is. It's basically what my army is, but good.
Your army is going to be superb, and I'm sure we will all go and follow promoted. Have you made promoted to dry brush yet?
I have not. I'm waiting.
Do it.
I was just after the strip.
Nope.
Fine.
Now make it on stream.
Peer pressure. They said I'd be immune to this when I hit 20.
No, yeah. Given the amount of people.
Wangtang clan sounds like something from Brazzers.
Gary, PG-13.
What? No. Oh, I already got my F-bomb, didn't I? Okay, Instagram.
I think you need to make an account on your phone.
Account on my phone?
Yeah, I don't. Instagram doesn't have much web capability. You can't even post pictures on it from web browsers.
Right, so for my full name, you're not getting my full name. So my username is...
One of my favourite facts about Gert, and obviously I won't dox him by saying this, but his name on Facebook is a bit of a joke. Because...
Would you like me to tell you why? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go on. I'm not going to tell you your story.
So, my Facebook name is very long and very nerdy, and I've kept it that way. I made it a long time ago, like a long time ago.
One presumes it's a bit of a joke.
Yeah, and you were allowed to change your name as much as you want to anything you wanted. They didn't care. You could change it every day for a week. Then they really made it strict when Facebook was getting a bit more legitimate for people. and I had to make a choice what to keep it at. So I pretty much kept it at the longest D&D reference I possibly could, because Facebook flag it as an unverified name that isn't actually a name, but it's so old due to the data protection laws they can't make me change it, because it was before they brought in a new policy, and it doesn't break their rule, they just don't like it in a way. And I've threaded the needle, and I can't change it ever again. But it also means Facebook can just never recommend people for me.
Grots and posers, I like it, Tom. We built the city on grot and roll.
Grot and roll.
Yeah, that's a bit forced, isn't it?
Does it have to be grot specifically, or can it be orc? I guess grot makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, I do ban orcs in my army, which I've very nearly fallen into the trap, because trying to think of how I'm going to kit bash every single type of orc unit, like flash boys, looters, blah, blah,
Yes,
as a grot.
Oh, so this is another something I have been musing over with Mediocre Modeler as well, who is fantastic. If I have any model ideas, go to him and he sort of helps me either calm down or go for it. And it is for my Savage Orcs. I want some Deathcopters. I'm going to be getting some normal Deathcopters, but I want some Savage Deathcopters. So I will be using Seraphon Ripidactyls.
Ripidactyls, nice.
And I'm replacing the rock with a squig.
Amazing.
So it will be Savage Orcs riding giant birds with looted guns strapped on it, and just a squig in the middle of.
That's incredible. I love it. I want it. Thomas, behave.
I mean, I'll be honest, he's got a point there.
Is there like some kind of Bucks Fizz? But my wall will go on. I think my wall will go on, wins it.
Damn it, I thought I had a choice.
Like, works near, far, wherever you are. I believe
so
that
they've given me an Instagram code, but it's not valid apparently, even though I've copied and pasted it. Okay, whatever. I'm not leaving the stream until I can actually link you all the made Instagram.
I think my wall will go on. I'm very keen when we get back out. Jerome and I are going to collab on some musical releases. I'm very keen to drop a grot mixtape. So these will be going on that. I still I feel like Hit Me With Your Best Grot has legs. My wall will go on. Definitely has legs. Yes, Geraint.
Loving Grots instead. I'm loving Grots instead.
I don't know. What song's that?
Oh, I think it's actually just called Angel by Robbie Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Misquoted it there. My Wild Root Long by Celine Green.
Celine Green. Right, okay. That's it. Moku, you are now an executive producer on the Grot mixtape. Welcome to the team.
Oh, there's always the famous Frank Sinatra one, Wagway.
What about...
That's Grots.
That's Grots. That doesn't surprise me, Tom. I feel like you communicate solely through the purpose of rap unless we're talking. What about... Oh, it's getting grot in here. Yes. Although... Who wrote It's Getting Hot Here? Is that not R. Kelly the Rapist? It might be R. Kelly the Rapist. And if so, I can't condone that.
R. Kelly.
Yeah. You've got to use his full name, which is R. Kelly the Rapist.
Okay, I'm just hopefully doing the last step.
No, it's Nelly. We're okay. Thank God. Well done, Nelly.
We should have another one where it's just yours going, I will paint 500 grots.
And I will paint 500 more.
Can that be your first song with Jerome? I'll chip in for that if you want. I'll see if I can write some lyrics for it. I do absolutely adore everything you've been doing with the grots and just the stream. Just all very wholesome hobbiness.
It's genuinely got me grot for teacher. Love it. It's very much kind of got me painting, which I quite like because I normally only really paint if I have kind of a real desire and kind of, I'll spend a week just doing nothing but painting and burn out very quickly and don't do anything for a couple of months. So it's got me going on, which is good.
You can always, instead of Alice Cooper, Bed of Grots. No, too niche.
Maybe.
So.
Grot through the heart, and you're to blame.
I have made an Instagram.
Yes. What is your tag? We will all go and follow you right now.
Just made an Instagram. Heard my lovely fiance behind me. What? Love, where's my bikini? I've made an Instagram. I think it's obligatory. Oh, I've been banned.
That's OnlyFans. Ah, mad. Well, I like it. Hey, Matt, how you doing? How's your... Are you working on Nighthaunt today, or are you working on Tower? Or Thousand Suns?
Do love Thousand Suns.
Love Thousand Suns. Oh, Cthulhu, yes. Forgot, yeah. Also, yeah, go check out Flair for Painting, Flare. Also, if you're checking out new Instagram channels as well, Flair's also just set up an Instagram where he's painting up a really cool Cthulhu model. Where's that from, Matt? Your Cthulhu model? Lee, I know you're a fan of the Cthulhu franchise, if you will. Franchise is probably the wrong word.
I am a massive H.P. Lovecraft fan.
Yeah, exactly. Part of the Cthulhu fandom.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. How do I find my Instagram tag?
It's just at whatever it is. Skink182. That's incredible. I love it. So it should just be at whatever your username is.
Well, I've done my first follow.
Who have you followed? Better be me.
You. You're on Instagram? Wait, you were giving me shit.
What?
Lisa saying I should have been. She should have been my first follow on Instagram.
I mean, she should have been, to be honest.
Yeah, love. I'm sorry, the wedding's off. If I can't follow you on Instagram, how can I follow you off this mortal coil?
That sounds like a threat.
Oh, something that makes me laugh. I read online it was a 42-year-old man saying he loves new languages his kids are using now that they're 15, 16. And he says he freaked them out once because he likes using the word yeet. And his kids asked him for an example and he said, I can't wait to yeet myself off this mortal coil.
Amazing. Mythos, that's the one.
That is my new Instagram. I probably need to actually paint something. Hooray! Yeah. I have a follower.
I know, I was third. I don't know if I was speaking to it. I know. You currently have a ratio of
holy crap, I have
infinite...
5 people following me.
Nice.
This means I have to actually post something now,
6.
don't I? Yeah, it's true, got a backlog. Oh yes, my Lord of Change painted all with contrast. I will say, people say contrast will go on models. You don't think it would work otherwise. My Eldar army is painted with nothing but contrast.
I mean,
and it just worked beautifully. The organic shape of it. Yes, large flat surfaces are bad, but even in that case, using them in the recesses can add such lovely shadow and depth.
Fair. I still can't quite get over the Emma Dyson Demons, who I'm a huge fan of, in case you haven't noticed the fangirling. Created her entire amazing painting technique just for... now, steady on, guys. Don't follow him more than me. Painted her up... No, do follow him.
Made a second account just to follow that.
Also, while you're following accounts, you want @Flair for Painting, s'il vous plaît. That'd be lovely as well. Go and give. And if anyone else has, if you guys have, you want to drop your things in here, do drop them in here. Drop them in the Discord. I am totally okay with shameless plugging.
There's no shame here, lads. Just paint.
Exactly.
And disposable income.
Yes. That's the big secret. 40k. Spend the money that you can afford to spend.
Yes, well, I think the main thing in 40k, I would always say to anyone is buy models you like. Rules will
Yes.
change, but that model will stay on your shelf forever.
Unless you get bored of it and sell it in 2 months like me.
You have a problem, Matt. This is actually an intervention. Didn't want to spring this up on you, but you forced our hand. Get him, Lee.
My my favourite my favourite thing that's ever happened with grots is a guy who tried to tell me they're worth £3 each, and I did nearly sell him all my grots. He didn't want to buy them. So basically, I wanted to buy some grots from a guy, and he had 20. And I was like, cool, how much are you thinking each? And he was like, well, because they're old and OOP, I was looking at £3.50 a model. And I was like, no thank you, but if that's what you're getting for them, and I basically said that's a bit much. He was like, well, I've got that for them before. And so I was like, oh, that's fine. If that's what you're selling grots for, I will happily sell you 1,000 for £2.50 each, and you can make £1,000. And he said no. Tried to give some guy a random £1,000, and they said no. Yeah, we have that. We have that in my house. It's like the bell will go, and the postman will be there, and there'll be a box. Apart from anything, because I had a lot of so with the community grot project, which I'm going to launch again soonish, I need to work out what situations for the house if I do more community grots. Just so I don't want to, because people send them over. Like I'm still getting some to this day, so I don't want people sending them to the house that I no longer live in. But I don't know what my postman thinks. My postman, especially when the kind of grot project was really going big, I get like 6 or 7 packages a day, all addressed to bucket of grots, and I don't know what my postman thought, but I really want to know. I might
I
ask for
think
that.
he was actually a 40k fan, and he's just fueling it. He made sure he got the shift just to always got like a local. I think what you should do, Matt, first night we are back in for an actual in person. Bring the bucket of grots,
Of course,
and put an amount in there. Don't tell anyone, and people have to guess. And the closest one to the guess gets, I don't know, a little sticker or something.
So I've just
like the community
done that.
fairground.
I've just done that. So you, of course, you would have followed on my giveaway.
I only have Instagram now. It's not even 5 minutes old.
But yes, I did do a giveaway where we did a bucket pour, and people had to guess how many grots were in the bucket, which was very successful. So maybe I'll do another giveaway sometime soon. I don't want to give away though. Maybe an Uber grot.
You were actually also, now I don't remember if I ever told you, but when I went to Estonia, there was a small wargaming shop, the only one in Tallinn, the capital of Estonia, and it's run by an expat from London actually, who used to live in Bristol at some point.
Oh, nice. No way.
And I go there to see him, and it's fantastic. And he showed a video of a certain someone pouring grots onto the table at Warhammer World.
That was the most fun I've had.
The thing is, I didn't think about it. I went, yeah, it's my mate, and just carried on talking. He's like, what do you mean he's your friend? I'm like, I have those. It probably didn't help when I said that. But everyone was there going, why is he storing his models like that? That's not efficient. And I'm sat there like, it's not about efficiency, lads.
It's very much about silliness.
It's funny, because every time you poured that bucket of grots from the metal, everyone must have thought it started raining outside.
People genuinely look horrified when they see it. Thank you, Phil. I already follow both of those. Oh, I love animal snoots. Phil, have you got? Can we adopt your dog as the official pet of the bucket of grots?
Sorry, cat. He doesn't want you.
Well, your cat was standoffish.
Talk to the cat. He's not the official hobby. There's a great story behind my cat. So I'm legally blind in my right eye. Hence the why ponking off in the corner.
Oh,
when we went to adopt a cat, we were after any elderly cat. We just wanted a rescue cat that could sleep during the day and get all the attention at night.
Makes sense.
Indoors only. We phoned Bristol Animal Rescue Centre, and a plug for them, because if you want to adopt a pet, please adopt from them. They're amazing.
If you live in Bristol.
And if you live in Bristol, even if you live in Bath, they're not. And they said to me on the phone, yeah, it's got one eye. Excuse me? He goes, yeah, our cat, I'm afraid he got in a fight with another cat. Unfortunately, it clawed his eye. They had to remove it. Is that a problem? And I said, no, not at all, before she even finished asking that. And when I told my parents, because it took me a long time to learn to laugh at it, you just have to deal with it. My dad went, what do you mean you've got a one-eyed cat? I'm like, I did not try to do that, Dad. It just happened.
My other favourite thing is your partner's name.
Oh,
Because
Lisa.
yes,
Yes. So one of my best friends, when they I told them I'm dating I'm dating someone now. Her name's Lisa, and they go, oh, that's okay. I'm like, yeah, it's spelled with two I's. And my mate's mum instantly went, oh, is that so they can give the spare one to you, Garen? And I just walked out the room. I'm done. Nope. There's no salvaging some situations.
we have had some savage eye banter today, but it is 10
Wait,
o'clock, so I'm going to call us there if that's okay with you, Gab. Let me give a shout out to everyone who's
that's
been
fine.
watching. Phil's been watching. Hi, Phil. Aiton, Commander Root, Feet, Fireflame, Matt. Hi, how are we doing? Ginger. Apparently, you're watching as well, Ger. Lex is watching. Hey, Lex, you sexy Dutch man. Lex is a sexy Dutch man. You don't need to know any more than that. Lee's been watching. Hello. I don't even know how to start pronouncing Configogticle's name, but I've tried. Rob's been watching. Silly Gnome. Hi, Silly Gnome. Sons of Ananta, obviously. Spike, aka Mokuba. Hey, how you doing? And Upturns. Thank you all for watching and joining us. This has been Beyond the Pail, which is my great pun name. I don't know if we ever said on the stream. This has also been Ger. Do go give him a follow. And if you don't already follow the bucket on Instagram, obviously follow there. And if you do want to join our Discord, we do have a Discord. We're going to be playing some fun ass grot games on there. So also jump on the Discord. Thank you for joining us, Phil. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Lovely being here.
And I will see you all tomorrow when I have Dr. Jeff, aka probably Squigs, on Instagram, who I am super hyped to have on because he is the artist behind my favourite webcomic, genuinely, Spanners, which has my favourite grots. And here's a fun fact for you, Go. I presume you've read Spanners, right?
Oh, I love Spanners. I'm thinking of getting a print of it.
I will talk to him tomorrow about. We'll get a bulk run done. I think I'm going to have him do me a nice custom piece of art for my games when I can. The grots in Spanners are based on the Terry Pratchett definition of the Veruca gnome, which is that they are malignant wingnuts. So we will talk to Jeff tomorrow about malignant wingnuts.
He was too wholesome for this world.
He was. We will talk about that. We'll talk about grots and squigs. We'll talk about a little project he's working on for me, which I'm super excited for. But for now, thank you for joining me, Gert. You've been an absolute joy and a pleasure. We will have you on again soon. And I will see everybody tomorrow, bright and early, 8 p.m, where we'll paint more grots. I've done either 106 or 86. I can't quite work
Base
out.
coated 10 boys. I'm flagging behind productivity wise.
I mean, it's probably similar amount of paint.
Yeah, don't know. May have the layer on you. It's not contrast.
That's fair. Right. Cool. Good night, everyone. Thank you. And hopefully tomorrow, here's a fun thing. Tomorrow we should be associate, which means that I can affiliate rather, which means that I can start dishing out VIP tags. And let me tell you, I'm going to give it to every single person because I love you all.
Hey.
Also, because maybe not you.
Okay, yeah. Right.
Because when we have when there are more people following, I want to know who the OGs were right at the start. So I will catch you all tomorrow if you're about. If not, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, repeating ad infinitum until I get all my grots painted. And then we'll start on the Night Goblins. Cool. I know. See you there, everybody. Have a good night and a great day tomorrow. Bye, Ger. I love you.
Bye.
I love you, Ger.
This got awkward, didn't it?
It did.
Right.